Right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm not sure if, I think Nathan, I can see Nathan Christie's here, but I think he was in the last session. So I'm not sure if you're here, Nathan. And I can see Sharon Robbie as well. Hello, Sharon. I'm not, just wanted to make sure that you're here, Sharon, because I don't want to be speaking if there's nobody around. So I wonder if you could just, if you are around in the session, you could just drop me a note in the chat just to say hello. That would be really great. Thank you. Okay, so I don't think anybody's here at the moment. If anybody is in this session, could they just drop me a note in the chat, please, just to let me know that you're here? That would be really useful. I'm not going to start until we've actually got some people in the room, so it'd be good to hear. Thank you. Oh, hello, Sandra. It's Dan Powell. Just wanted to say hello. Could you just drop me a note in the chat just to let me know that you're actually here, please? That would be great. Thanks. Oh, okay. Hello, Sandra. Very nice to meet you. I think I just Sandra. I hope you can hear me. I think Nathan Christie was in the last session, so I think that's. I'm not sure if he's here. I'm not sure if Sharon's here. Oh, hello, Ed. I think Ed's just arrived. So Ed, very nice to see you. Look, as we've got a few people here, I'm going to make a start. Hello, welcome to the session. Thanks very much for coming along. Hope you've enjoyed today. My name's Dan Powell. I'm the head of Neon at Engineering UK. Neon is a web platform that Engineering UK have developed, and it brings together the UK's best engineering experiences and inspiring careers resources to help teachers bring STEM to life with real-world examples of engineering. So Neon is something that came out of the Perkins Review a few years ago, and that was a big review that was commissioned by the Royal Academy of Engineering and around STEM engagement. And one of the outputs from that was that there should be a web platform for teachers where they could go and find inspiring careers resources to share with the young people that they work with. So Engineering UK took that on behalf of the STEM engagement sector. And we did a couple of years of research with people in the STEM engagement sector, so the organisations that provide activities, and also, of course, teachers and careers leads, just to work out exactly what it needed to look like. So we're delivering it very much on behalf of the whole sector. We've got some partners I'll show you in a second. I'm going to do a tour of Neon for you in a moment, so I'll show you a bit more there. Now, what I planned for this session was to do a quick introduction to Neon and then take some questions and then to have a bit of a discussion about it afterwards. So we'll see how that goes. I think in the last one, it was sort of very much more that people wanted to look at the platform and then maybe ask questions. So what I thought I'd do now is talk about Neon, give you a bit of a guided tour, and then I'll share a link. In fact, I'll share a link right now. And then if you, maybe I can just be here, you can take a look. If you've got any questions, you're very welcome to ask me about them. So there's a link there. But first of all, what I'm going to do is just talk you through, do a quick screen share and talk you through what the platform looks like. So just give me a moment. Okay. So when you first come to Neon, this is what you will see. This is the home page. So you can see that the very first thing, the kind of front and center, is this thing here where you enter your school name. So we wanted to make Neon as simple for teachers to use, because we know that teachers don't have a lot of time. They just need to get to the kind of, the nitty gritty of what this is all about straight away. So what I will do is just put in, I'm down in Brighton. And my kids are at Varndine School. So you just type in the name of the school and it will automatically find it. We've got all the schools in the UK on here. So now we know, the site knows where you're based, where your school is based. So we'll click search. And you can see that it brings up a list of all of the in-school experiences that can be delivered in your school by the providers that we work with. We'll have a look at those in a minute. And then there's all of the off-site experiences that can be delivered. And you can see it shows these by the distance from the school. So we know where the school is, we know where the experience, the off-site experience is. And so we can say exactly how far you have to travel. So you can see the bottom one here is in Newcastle, which is a bit far to travel for Brighton for the day. But actually we thought it was better to just list everything rather than cutting it off somewhere. And so that's there. And you can also view those experiences on a map like that. Okay. So let's go back to the in-school experiences. So first thing to say is that we've got some filters along here. We'll be bringing more filters in soon, but for the moment we've got student age. So we're not going for key stages or school years, because we don't own, this isn't only for England. We're also rolling this out across Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, and they use a slightly different system. So you can filter by student age. You can filter by this type of experience you're looking for. So these are the 6 types of experience, face-to-face experiences we offer. So competitions, events, project-based work. So that's something that where you sort of do maybe more than one session over a period of time. Speakers, so things like the STEM Ambassadors program. Trips, so obviously that's the kind of out of school element. And then workshops, so they're generally kind of day workshops. And then in terms of accreditations, we're working with EDT, who you may know run the Industrial Cadets program, which is a kind of quite a structured program you go through with certification at the end. And so anything on Neon that goes towards Industrial Cadets will have a tag on it, and that means that you can see all of those here if that's something you're doing in school. And similarly for the British Science Association's Crest Awards, we've got filtering for that as well. Excuse me. So let's have a look at one of these. This is the Thames Water Community Speaker Programme. So you can see this is something that happens at school. Because it's in this list, we know it can happen at Varndine School. It takes about an hour to do, and it's free. So let's just open that up. So the first thing, we've got a nice picture here, and we've got some more detail about the activity. And then this button here is what you would click if you looked at this activity and decided that you wanted to book it. You would click here and you would go to the Thames Water website to do booking and arrange it with them. And that's really because we can't handle bookings on Neon. We may do at some stage in the future, but it's a very complex way of doing things. So we're kind of, at the moment we're just pushing people off to the other side. The other thing I should say about Neon, actually, which I haven't mentioned yet, is that we have a set of quality standards. So all of the experiences on Neon have to meet those quality standards, and they're around things like positive messaging, quality and diversity and inclusion, and also some kind of safeguarding stuff. So when you look at Neon on the About page, there's a list of what those are. So you can be confident that only the kind of absolutely most brilliant experiences will be on here. And obviously, when people apply, they have to go through a checking process. We look into the activity, and if it passes that process, then it goes on to Neon. So back to this page, if we scroll down a bit, we've got a bit more detail about what the sessions or the activity involves, and some more of that kind of capacity and dates and time stuff. And then down here, when we were talking to teachers about what they needed to see in terms of making a decision, there were some key things that they needed to see. So one thing is learning outcomes. So these are the learning outcomes that STEM Learning developed a couple of years ago, well, about 3 or 4 years ago now, I think, actually. And so we decided those are probably the most relevant. The subjects and the topics that this particular activity covers, and we'll be introducing filtering around these soon across the whole site. So you'll be able to filter not just the experiences, but also the resources, which we'll look at in a minute. This shows which of the Gatsby benchmarks this activity helps the school to achieve. And then one thing when we were talking to teachers is that they said that they would like to see something around the kind of broader skill set, so more of a kind of T-shaped idea of the skills involved. And so we've partnered with the Skills Builder Partnership, who you may be aware of. I think they're starting to get more involved in schools. And particular one helps to develop listening skills, teamwork skills, and problem solving. And then here you can see, this one hasn't got one, but we're asking teachers to write testimonials, just because that's quite a powerful way of kind of teachers making a decision about things if they can see that someone else has had a good experience. And at the bottom, just some related experiences. So some other things that might be good. So obviously we've got there's another Thames water one. This is a kind of trip out to go and see them, STEM ambassadors. Always a good thing to get in for a bit more inspiration. And then the Network Rail one, I guess, is a kind of it's a trip in a similar sort of area. And then some related resources at the bottom there. Okay, so one of the things about launching a website like Neon in the middle of a global pandemic is that when we launched in September and when we were doing our beta testing kind of in the spring and summer term last year, people weren't, obviously, we had lockdown and people weren't coming into school and young people weren't going on trips. And a lot of the providers that we're working with were starting to provide digital experiences. So they were kind of pivoting everything to work online. So we very quickly built a page where digital experiences can live. And actually that's something that Charlotte, our content manager, has really been concentrating on lately. So these are all things that can be delivered remotely. They're still being used by a lot of the teachers that are signed up and registered for the platform. Also, most of these are free, and we try and keep a good balance of kind of free to paid for content on Neon. There is some paid for content, but a lot of the online stuff is free, and we're getting a lot of traction through this site at the moment. And it means, if you click on one of these, exactly the same format, you get all the same information you need to help you make a decision. Okay. Next along here, we've got our careers resources. You may be aware of the Tomorrow's Engineers careers resources, which were on the old Tomorrow's Engineers website. Those are now hosted on Neon, and we're looking at ways that we can bring third-party content onto here at the moment. That's a project that's ongoing right now. So if we look at this one, it's the 100 Jobs in STEM. Now you can download this poster to use it, or if you go up here, you can place your order to get some print copies. If you want to put something up in the classroom. And it's got our Meet the Future You quiz, which is a quiz. Students answer a few questions about kind of what they like doing and what their skills and passions are. And then that shows them the kind of engineering career that they could think about. And then just along here, we've got case studies. So we've got 140 case studies of engineers. including quite a few video case studies, which you can filter through by just clicking this little button here. And this is somewhere else that we'll be adding more filtering to, just around subjects and topics, because we think that will help. Obviously, 140 is quite a lot to wade through. But these are something that teachers have been sharing with the young people they work with during lockdown, because they can very easily just kind of come on here and then just show let me just find one that's actually got a video on it. So this chap here has got a video, and so they can go through it, and the young people can just watch an inspiring video about an engineer. Okay, so if I just go back to, let's go back to experiences near me. Now, you might have noticed these little hearts up here and maybe wonder what they are. Well, one of the things that we know about, or we think about Neon, is that teachers aren't going to be coming here every day or every week, although of course we'd love them to. They might come once a term when they're doing some planning. And we wanted to have a way that if they saw something, then they could remember it, or keep it, or have a favoriting system, so that when they come back in 6, 8, 12 weeks, they know where it is. So if I just, you have to be logged into this. So if I just quickly log in, won't be a second. And then let's find one I haven't already favorited. So is His Incredible Adventures. We'll just favorite that. You can see that that's now gone up to 9. And then you can see it in here. So now every time I log in, I can come here to my profile page, and I can find all of the experiences and the careers resources that I've favorited. And this is an area that we're kind of thinking we want to try and expand and make it, to add extra features to it. We're not sure what those features are yet, but we'll be consulting with teachers when we need to make a decision on that. Just if you want to find out more about, this is the about page, and you can see here, this is the quality standard here. And so please do take a look at that. The last thing, I think I was going to show you who the partners were on the site. So these are the partners and supporters that we work with. So you can see the Department for Education are on here, the Royal Academy of Engineering. We've got the Careers and Enterprise Company, and then IET, the Institute of Mechanical Engineering, UCL Engineering are on here, and the Skills Builder as well. So just to give you a sense of the kind of breadth of people that have been involved in putting this thing together. The last thing that I want to show you is this here. It's under the Spotlight section. So these collections, and one of the things that we really want to do with Neon is to encourage young people encourage teachers to book kind of multiple sessions of things, because that's one way that we know it keeps young people in the pipeline, the engineering careers pipeline. If they don't just go and do one thing, but they do kind of more than one thing, keep moving through that pipeline. So we've curated some of these sessions here. So this one about challenging perceptions is around female role models specifically. So you can see we've got a bit of context there, and then we've got, I think, 6 for this one, 6 experiences that kind of work in the within that context, and then we've got some case studies and resources at the bottom as well that fit that. So that's something that we do. We kind of turn these over every sort of 3, 4, 5 weeks. And if you are a registered member of Neon, so you just a very simple sign-in process. Of course, there's no cost at all associated with it. Then one of the benefits is that we will send you a weekly email. It's a 3 to 4 minute read, so very light touch. And that will let you know when we've got a new one of those on there, when we've got a new collection up. And then that will let you know a bit more about that. And hopefully that will be a very useful thing to see. So that is the end of the tour of Neon. So I just, wondered if anyone had any questions. Please do. I think you can add yourself to the moderation panel, and then you can actually come on the call and ask a question. But if you'd rather, please do just post a message in the chat window down here. I think, like I said before, I mean, I wanted to have a bit of a discussion about how careers leaders, you can use Neon to explore the breadth of career options, and whether you think that it kind of shows that breadth on Neon, and also, how you would use it to enthuse people. So if you've got, any thoughts around that, that would be really great. But, generally, please do. I put a link in there. Please do go and have a look. and if you've got questions, I'm here to answer them. So Sandra says, looks great, Dan, lots of options. Thanks, Sandra. Good. I'm glad you think that. Yeah, so please go and have a look, and yeah, just let me know what you think. Most resources available without being linked to an event. Could we order a sample and order more later? Says Ed. Yes, you can. Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to. They're not linked to an event in there. So if I just go back, let me just check. I'm still showing my screen. Yeah. So if we go to, they've got their own section here. So if you go to the careers resources page, and then you can see them all in here. So you can download them from here. But if you click this link, you go through to an order form. And you see you can just select which one you want. So if you wanted that poster, you just select that there, and then you'd need to complete some details down here. And that will go to our fulfillment house and they'll send you one. So yeah, you could just order one and get one in and have a look. And then if you needed more, you can come back and order more of them again. I'll just go back to the front page. There we go. Thanks, Ed. I should say as well, what I'm going to do is put my email address in here. There we go. So if you've got any questions or you have a burning thought about Neon after the session, please do drop me a line. And also, if you're sharing Neon, with colleagues or with schools that you work with, and they've got questions, and then please let me know. And also, if you have anything that if you what am I trying to say? If there's something on there that isn't on there that you think should be on there, if there's something that you know about an event or an experience that should be on there that you don't know about, please do get in touch and let me know. We'd love to take a look at it because we're always looking for more content. Any idea of the range of costs for different sessions as an indication? So I think this was something that we talked a lot about when we were putting the site together. And one of the things is that for almost all of the providers, they don't have a fixed price for a lot of these because it depends on kind of, how far they have to travel. So, there are some providers who said to us, if the school was next door to us, we'd probably just go and go and do it for free or for a very nominal cost. But if it was, a couple of 100 miles away, then it might be, that we would need to charge more. So in the end, we weren't able to put what the costs were. I would say that it's difficult to say what an average session would be, actually, I should say, because they're all provided by different providers. So, yeah, I don't know if I can really answer that question. I think it's very easy to get in touch with them. So if you see something that's interesting, go to the website and either they will say it will have something about costs. It has like a cost calculator on there, or you can just drop them a line and say, can you just give me just give me an idea or give me a quote for it. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, Sandra's saying, see that schools see cost applies and assume it would be out of their pocket, out of their price range. I think it's something that we need to keep thinking about. It's definitely something that's it's always going to be on our radar. I think maybe as time goes on, as the site matures and develops, then we may be able to come up with a solution for that. But we just not. It's not something we're able to solve at the moment, I'm afraid. Sorry. One thing I would flag actually is that we are running a bursary scheme. So we have a set of criteria around equality and diversity and inclusion at Engineering UK that we developed. Around 50% of schools in the UK actually fall into that. And so if a school fits our criteria, then they can apply for a bursary of up to £700, which covers most workshops. So if you register for an account with Neon, then when we when that's like, it normally comes up 2 or 3 times a year. So we've got one open at the moment. So we would send a note round and notifying people that that's happening. So it might be worth just looking at that as well. Thank you, Sanjay. Good. Yes, please do let them know. And like I said, if they've got any queries, then yeah, very happy to try and help. Okay, I'm just going to share this screen again. And then what we'll do is we'll go, as we've got about 4 or 5 minutes. So I'll just put those up. That's got my contact details on it. It's also got, like, there's a hello at neonfeatures.org.uk email, which might be useful as well. I'm not always around. Sometimes they do let me go on holiday. So if you need to get in touch, it might be good to try that one too. And obviously there's a link to Neon there as well. Okay. Something else, just while I'm here and while you're here, just to let you know about, is the Big Bang, which is, you may know about, you may have heard about. It's our kind of big event. We had to cancel it last year because of COVID. It happens in Birmingham every year. The next one is coming up in June. And, oh, okay. Just to let you know quickly that the next one coming up in June, and that's a link to it there if you'd like to take a look and register. I think we've had about 40,000 young people register so far. So, but excellent. Good to see you, Ed. Thanks very much. And yeah, it looks like everyone's heading to the stage area now for the wrap up. So yeah, thanks very much, everyone.